Hello again. We'll see how this goes. I think the light is a little bit brighter in this room. I think the background is worse. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to draw, but I'm going to use this sketchbook. Ooh, oh no, my sketchbook. It's coming apart. I got this in, oh, hey, camera, can you focus? I got this in Beijing, summer 2024. I met UG there. He's my old professor from Cal State Long Beach, and he had set up international conference at college there. And I don't know, while we were wandering around, we went to a bookstore, and I got this. These are all like observational. That does not look that much like my son. Just here in the bedroom. Focus. Kind of bending the space. Come on, camera. I don't know if my IP was feeling too good. Just random sketches. I don't know exactly what I'm going to add to the sketchbook tonight, but I do want to. Come on. It'll take for this to focus. Some creepy faces. This is a campground that we stayed at. Inside the oddly shaped cabin, Leo was making I don't know, like a tunnel out of the hammock. Some strange characters. Not sure who these people are. What else is in here? Oh. Come on. Landscape. Anything else? No. All right. Whoa. Nice fingerprints. Like Sean Gordon Murphy, except these are in ink. Look cool. Mine are just in the way. All right. So I just wanted to do a drawing tonight. I was planning on doing this earlier in the day, and you know, to states nobody's awake. This is like the middle of the night, 4:25 a.m. My computer is still set to like U.S. time. So I don't know, that weird little goblin guy that I showed you a minute ago. Just a bunch of crazy scribbly lines, kind of doing a gesture drawing and then turning it into something. But I mean, I want to try to do that here. I have a 4B pencil. It's not. I don't recommend that. It's too soft, too dark. You saw what happened to my hands. And then I want to try to use my new fangled Kuretake Brushpen. Usually in the past I did not like them. I think I had one that was really old, so I was getting frayed, and I just couldn't make that good of lines. I like my Pentel a lot better, and the ink itself is a little bit different. If you get it wet, I think in the past it was more like a orangish color, and Pentel is a cooler one. But this new one, I could make some pretty fine lines. I really liked it. So I don't know. I just was like, I want to get a new one. I have all the cartridges still, the refills. I should draw something. All right. So I'm trying not to put too much pressure on here. You know, it's probably going to be a Wolverine drawing. But I don't know if I can make this happen. So, I mean, I'm really trying to keep it loose. You know, there's like a pelvis back here. Treat that like a box. And I'm trying to draw rear kind of base of this cylinder that could be his leg, you know, for his thigh coming into the foreground. And then I want some kind of knee and change direction. So I haven't watched Karl Kopinski draw like real time, like doing this pencil drawing. I just watched like all those time lapse videos, and it's just really crazy. I don't know how fast he moves, so I hope I'm not moving too fast. So I mean, some things that I'm trying to look for, you know, like the patella, tibia's in here, fibula's on the edge. It goes down lower, makes the outside ankle lower. Ooh, right up into the corner there. All right, I guess it can't be helped. All right, so pelvis. I want this leg going back. Maybe not like that much. I want to have some kind of ability to balance. Maybe going back like that. See, as I got nervous about making a decision about the pose, start using more pressure from my hand. Ooh, it doesn't really matter. Oh, maybe that could work. Use a pencil that's too soft to make a bunch of weird smudges. So, trying to get the edge of his leg on this side. Let's see. Inside ankle. Toes on the ball of his foot. I feel like it's too. All right, so I have this kind of hunching overview. Here are his hips. Let's see. Look up his rib cage, maybe like this. He's kind of compressing his body. It's all bunched up. I want him to be leaning forward. And I don't know, looking angry. Let's see, what time is it? 4:30 in the morning? 7:30 in the evening? All right, so if he's leaning forward, you know, if his body is like a cubic form, this is one plane. I don't know if this looks right. Then I want maybe I want to shift in his body. I don't think Karl Kopinski makes these. He just kind of like knows the gesture, like feels it, you know. I feel like I'm trying to build it as I go. So maybe like that, maybe head lower. All right, his head is lower. I need to decide where his eyes, nose, and mouth are going to be. Still don't think I have this gesture right. Collarbone, part of his neck. Okay. Other hand up like this. So we have the form of his hand. You know, there's a plane like this, plane underneath, plane underneath. get this other part of his bicep. We don't get to see how his bicep connects with the rest of his arm. Maybe we do. No, we don't. Covered up by too much stuff. I guess we'll see. So yeah, don't use 4B on something like this. It's too soft. Okay, now add in some of these. Add in some of those. Maybe add in part of a cast shadow. Line's getting too heavy. I don't know if I have any good stories tonight. Leo, how's your drawing going?
Good. Wait, is there people watching this?
No. This is me just practicing.
Wait, so this isn't real?
I don't know. There's nobody. There's only one person. I think that there's only like a couple of people that subscribe, and they're all, I think they're all in the States, and so they're asleep right now. I'm just kind of trying to get practice.
But they can watch after this.
Yeah, they could. Hypothetically. I don't know if anyone will. All right. This could just be a naked Wolverine guy wandering around in the snow. Mm-hmm. I think he needs some kind of a outfit. Like this. Doing some gloves. And drawing is too small for much detail. Let's see. I'm gonna go with brown and tan, I think. I'm having some trouble with symmetry on this face. Draw the center line. It can help. You get balance. So, top of the forehead, frontal eminence, eye sockets. Nose. So I'm gonna go with minimal. There's just not much space. See, now something that Karl Kopinski does. He just like roughs it out, then just like uses the brush and can finalize it. I don't trust myself to do that. I just maybe try to think like him at that initial gesture, and then That's the end of my ability to think like that. So, all right. All right. Play around with this. My messy soft pencil. Let's see if we can do anything helpful. Okay. So I guess we'll see if my brush pen works better than I remember it. So yeah, I wonder what all other people think, if they prefer Pentel or Kuretake or other similar products by other makers. Like Tombow maybe, or I don't know, Sakura. So I'm gonna add in some shadows. Ooh, something I've discovered about this pen, and depending on the paper, very absorbent paper, then you can have that cool kind of dry brush effect pretty easily. It's kind of neat. Let's see if I can use that somewhere else. I always like the heavier line around the edge of the head, and then there's like the little line here for the plane change for the front of the face. And I'll add in the obligatory gradation with horizontal or diagonal lines heading towards the frowning face. Not that there's like a way that people always draw these things. All right, collarbone. Vein in the neck. We cannot see the pit of the neck or sternocleidomastoid, anything like that. It's just the head is overlapping with those. Ooh, I'll try some hatching. Maybe a little subtle hatching like this. All right, for his arm and this change in his uniform. Okay, I gotta have these connect down to his belt. Yeah, I'm surprised by how fine of a line. Ooh, I can get with this Now, I tried to incorporate the pencil into the drawing so that I won't have to erase, because I think if I erase, it's going to totally wreck it. And I'll try to make a little X here. And its success is questionable. Okay. I'll add in a bicep. Add in some veins, of course. Not that Wolverine's been juicing or anything. And I want this to be darker. It looks like I have to use a lot slower stroke to be able to fill this in. I want a little bit of a suggested cast shadow, fine line. And use a little bit of hatching here. Try to keep it minimal. Maybe there could be a vein. Because Wolverine has so much time to hit the weights. All right. I want to do this cast shadow. Well, I want some kind of texture movement here. So if I make it black right under his chin, I'm going to lose that edge. So use a little bit of hatching. Suggest a cast shadow. I wonder if I'll be able to erase some of these like middle tones in gray. Or maybe I could just go over the top with a paint marker. We'll find out. I think I'll make this in the shadow. Just add some hatching. Make this symmetrical with this other side. And make the shadow symmetrical. Add some shading. Uh-oh, someone may be coming in the room. Close call. All right, no. Borrow this dark shadow again. I don't have the shoulder divided up into the different bulbs very well. I think you can divide up the deltoid into 3 large muscles, but I'm not drawing anatomy as well as I would like. Okay. Maybe I'll imitate this kind of shadow here on the shoulder with the knuckles. And create some consistency in the lighting. Do the same thing for the front plane on his thumb. I'll add a cast shadow from his hand, like this. Ooh. I figure out how to connect this to the forearm. think it's pretty amazing about Karl Kopinski's drawings. He's like such a sense for anatomy. I guess he is kind of like drawing nonstop. I'm just kind of like BSing this anatomy, kind of, generic kind of comic book stuff that I've learned over the years. Okay. Got Wolverine's tidy, not tidy whiteys, tidy brownies. Like this. Just add a shadow, make it easy. And do some of that hatching again. Maybe I'll go back the other way. I want to make it darker. All right, what else? Kind of like make this more of a shadow. Rib cage. What are these, like serratus muscle, external oblique, something like that. I'll add in some more vertical hatching just to make it dark. And maybe make this similar. All right. Maybe something's coming together. Okay. And I did not look up my leg anatomy still. I'll do that this week. I want to cast some more shadows. Let's see. Add some here. Maybe add one here. Uh-oh. Maybe that'll disguise my mistake. My brush running out already. It was an old cartridge that was in there, or that I transferred to this sucker. I think it may be. Just a second. There's ink there. Should be okay. What's going on? All right, my battery's running out. Okay, how can I make this work? It's an awkward looking foot. Try to add like the sole of the boot. Maybe if I add in enough shadows, nobody will notice. Maybe like this. Maybe like this. repeat some of that little hatching. I have it set up on YouTube so you can can't edit it, so should be okay, right?
Well, you can't edit it?
You can. You want to be edited out?
I don't know.
Trying to get these claws to foreshorten right. It's a little tricky. Maybe like that. Uh-oh. Is that a pencil breaking? Well, I'm gonna have to stop soon because my battery's running out. Let's see. What's that? 20%. We can make it. All right, gonna add some hairs. You know, like Sam Keith adding all the hair, or Simon Bisley, or whoever. Nice extra texture. Okay. This little light streak just to separate the shape of the glove from the rest of the arm. Don't know if that's going to do what it needs to do. We'll see. I need more mass here on this arm. And see if I can get away with something that I did on this hand with just making this other plane or part of the finger a little bit darker to suggest some kind of depth. Put this thumb shadow a little bit and keep working my way down. Maybe that's why I didn't like this kind of pen, because if I move too fast, you get this kind of broken edge. It's just the paper that I'm working on. If it was like a manga paper, I think it'll sit on the surface and make a nice smooth black line. But this is this kind of textured, almost like watercolor paper. So it's a little bit different. something I really liked about some of Kim Jung-gi's drawings. I mean, I don't know. I assume his paper had some kind of texture, so it allowed that kind of dry brush effect. I'm only saying that just now from trying it on this kind of paper using a brush pen. There's a different kind of level of absorbency, and just the texture creates this kind of rough quality where you can, what can I say? It's not just a solid black line. You can create gradations more easily. At least with this paper. Okay. How am I doing this? Try not to make too many lines. I'll make a few lines. It's okay. Okay, maybe. Do this. Maybe like this. I think a lot of artists use the different kinds of spacing on their hatching, especially on Wolverine's uniform. This kind of yellow color, the hatching is more sparse. Versus like on his shoulder here, trying to make it a little bit darker. So hopefully that'll match up with some of the how the color is set up. Well, I just screwed up that leg, but just ignore that. Add some lines. It'll be okay. Add enough lines to bamboozle the audience. All right. Really, I just need to, look at a book, do some sketches. Okay, so now we switch back to that other kind of darker treatment because this is a darker kind of fabric. All right, maybe it's shiny. Add some little plane change there. I'll add some hatching down here. Maybe there's a plane there on the edge, a little highlight. Dark brown leather, maybe. It needs a little bit different kind of hatching than yellow spandex. Yellow ochre. Okay. Leave a little bit of light, reflective light here on the edge, underneath the ankle. Maybe add in a little hatching here to be consistent with the upper body. Add in part of this shift. There's a big bone hiding in there. Add in a lighter tone going that way. And maybe I can get away with some kind of hatching down here. I don't recommend it. Maybe I need to go the opposite direction. I like Gene Haas hatching too. Uses a lot of cool cross hatching. All right. This looks like some kind of highlight, fade out. Okay. Some kind of shadow over here. Doing some cross contour hatching. Merge that with that shadow. Trying to save that leg, I'm just going to make it worse. All right, and then maybe I'll add a gradation down here. Need help? I can help. Just a second. I'm going to stop this. Use a graphite to make this darker. Down here in the shadow. So I'm going to try not to use any of this paint marker in the shadow. I actually think it's the old days of using Conte or using charcoal and white Conte in the life drawing class. We try not to put the Conte in the shadow, just so we'd have distinct kind of temperature and tonal differences between the middle tone and the shadow. All right. Then try this out. Try to use it mainly on the yellow parts. All right. See how long I can do this paint marker. So it's going to overflow any second, I think. So the paint marker is has a cool temperature. I don't know if that's from the pigment that they use for the paint or what, but it makes it different from the shadows if I'm not putting it in the shadows. So hypothetically, the shadows would be what? A little bit warmer? Looks like I had to use some in the brown middle tone after all. I guess here it's gray, right? It's not really brown. Imagine if it was colored. Background shape. I wonder if I can do that other places. Whoops. Maybe it was like really cold out and Wolverine's really hot. It's making him like steamy. He just got out of the onsen. I started this because I wanted to get that little negative shape back. All right. It's quite interesting to play with. I think it's out. Okay, so I didn't really know what I was going to draw, but this is what I ended up drawing. My terrible signature. All right, well. That was an experiment. I'll do a better job next time.